Welcome to the Aztec UltraGrind demonstration. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be taking a raw concrete floor that's been in a warehouse for many years, and we're going to cut the floor with metal bond diamonds. We are going to densify the floor with a Aztec lithium densifier, and then we're going to polish the floor to an 800, and then we're going to put our Aztec stain guard on top of the floor. The UltraGrind is a 30-inch grinding machine, can be ground wet or dry. The dry has two vacuum ports on either side. The wet's an 8-gallon wet tank with a valve on the side to adjust your water flow. We run a 20 horsepower Kawasaki engine. The machine also comes with a transport wheel for moving from location to location. The other great feature of this machine is it's all propane, so we have no worry of having to have special power to run our equipment. The machine is about an 800-pound machine. Once we add the water, we're getting close to 900 pounds of head weight. That's about 65 pounds per diamond per machine. It's convenient with a throttle on the back of the machine, as we use that to adjust our speed. So we can actually adjust how quickly we rotate the head. Again, when we're cutting with metal bond diamonds, we want to go at a slower clip, and you'll see when we cut with resin bond diamonds, we go at full throttle. We've got a convenient telescopic handle that you can set and adjust to whatever works for you. The smaller operator obviously will be a little closer. The taller operator can stand back a little bit from the machine. It's an on-off switch, and we also have a special kill switch that is attached to the operator. So if anything should happen, you just pull away and the machine will automatically shut down. Once we've transported the unit to where we want to be, it is now time to install your diamonds. I'm going to show you how we lift the machine up and down. We have a 3-pin system on the back of the machine. The pins are pulled out simply by pulling on the key ring and pulling the pin out. The first pin goes underneath the arm. The second pin then is inserted. This locks in our arm. Put our foot on here, lean back, and use the weight of the machine to gradually lower the unit till it touches. And now you're safe and secure to move to the front of the unit. You remove your transport wheel. The diamonds are on a tapered plate. The metal bond diamonds are all mounted with 3 screws that we put in the back. A suggestion that we tell all our people is after each time you use the diamond, you should readjust and retighten your screws on the back. This is a 30 grit diamond, and how we can tell is 2 ways. We have the number stamped on the inside, plus it's colored. We know the green is for 30 grit. These plates fit in, they're tapered, and they fit into a slot. Take your hammer, lock them into place. Because of the way they're tapered in and the machine's weight on them, the diamonds are basically locked into place. A general rule of thumb is before we start grinding, we do a complete inspection on the floor. And what we're looking for is different things like this. This at one point was a bolt that came up from the floor. We took a hand grinder and we ground that bolt to level. It's critical that we grind that off so it does not affect the machine, because a bolt that sticks up could damage one of the heads. So it's critically important that an inspection is done on the complete floor before you start your grinding processes. Let's get started with the demo. We always tell the customer, put a set of diamonds on and do a test strip to see what kind of cutting quality you're going to get. And we have a shroud. That shroud is to help keep the airborne dust contained within the machine, and then we vacuum the airborne dust up. Once you make your cut using your metal bond diamonds, you need to go up on one path and come exactly back on your wheel marks. So you go up and back on the same path. We want to make sure that we continue keeping the heavy dust onto the surface, because what that does is that keeps your diamonds cool and stops them from glazing over. The speed that we're moving in, as soon as we engage the clutch, the diamonds start to go. It's under medium to low speed. As I move from going up and back, I line the machine up into the center of my outside line to the center of my unit when I move over to cut up and back again. Okay, now that we've finished our cut with our 30 metals, we then take a squeegee, we move the loose debris that we've cut off the floor, and we vacuum it up. We'll then wash the floor and proceed to our next diamond for our next cut. We use our Pro Scrub to wash the floor in between coats. What that does for us is pull any of the loose impediment off the floor, helps clean the floor, and also gives you the ability now to see any blemishes and repair that needs to be made. You can start identifying them at an earlier stage because the floor will be cleaner. We use a special Aztec chemical that's made for the concrete industry, that what it does is it'll hold the concrete dust in suspension, so once it picks it up, throws it in the tank, the dust is off the floor. After we've finished with the 30 grit metals, a couple things that you'll notice is the floor is starting to smooth out. It's getting smoother and smoother. We now move to a 50. I class this almost the same as when you're sandpapering, using sandpaper on wood. You can't jump from an 80 to a 120 because you'll see the scratch pattern from the 80s on the 120 because it can't get it out. Similar concept with concrete. We can't jump a diamond, so we have to go 30, 50, 100 metal. Then we drop down, and I'll show you the resins after, but we go 50, 100, 200, 400. It's critically important that we do not skip any steps. So we mount these diamonds in exactly the similar way. The great part of this system, again, is the simplicity and the ease of taking the diamonds on and off. I just switch diamonds in about a minute and 10 seconds. A lot of our competitors out there have to actually take the diamonds off and mount them back onto other plates, which is very time consuming. Now that we have the 50 bond diamond, metal bond diamonds on the machine, we're going to go back to exactly the same pattern that we did with the 30 grit. We're going to go up and back on the exact same line. I use my wheel marks as I go up to track on the same wheel marks on the way back. We're then going to move the machine half over. You use your outside line of your dust to center into the center of the machine, and that becomes your pattern to go up and back again. Just tapped in my last 100. Now we're ready to proceed with our 100 metals. After this step, we'll be switching over to a resin bond diamond, which I'll show you after we cut with 100 metals. Now that we've moved from metal bond diamonds, we're basically done our grinding process. We now are starting the polishing process, and we're starting with a 50 grit resin bond diamonds. These diamonds are uniquely attached just by Velcro. So they're Velcroed on, trying to make sure you center them and have the end fit on there. Just a quick press and you're ready to go. The diamonds mount exactly the same way. They're form fitted, and you knock them in and we're ready to go. The 50, 100, and the 200 are still grinding, so you'll still have the vacuum on, still creating a little bit of dust, but we run at full throttle, so 100% throttle. We have now finished installing our 100 grit resin bond diamonds. As you'll notice, they look the same. The difference is color. It has a yellow backing. I've just finished installing the 200 resin bond diamonds. After we're done this cut, we're going to wash the floor, and then we're going to put a densifier on the floor. If we were going to add a color to the floor, if it was a acetone-based color, we'd put it on before we put the densifier on. If it's a water-based color, we would not densify after 200. We would then grind with 400 and then put the water-based dye and then the densifier on top. We finished with the 200, now we're going to densify the floor. Aztec, we have two different densifiers. We have one called Lithium Bright, which is a product I'm using in here, and the second product is called Potassium Bright. The Lithium Bright is very fast acting and reacts with the concrete in about an hour. The potassium takes about 10 to 12 hours to react. This product is applied with a sprayer, and you spray enough liberally on to cover and coat the floor. You follow with a flat mop application to spread the product out. The key is we don't want any puddling. We've waited 45 minutes. The lithium densifier has now penetrated. It's attached itself to the free limes and created a linking effect, which has now given the concrete double the strength that it was originally. We are going to hit it with 400s, which we have on the machine now. So we're going to hit it with 400 resins. We just finished with 400 resin bond diamonds. As you can see, it has a very good shine. We are now going to put on our diamond guard. This product is put on, and it has to be evenly mopped out, and you must not walk through it. You have to work it in a little bit. It'll dry very quickly, and then after we're done that, we're going to lock it onto the concrete floor. We do that using the newest piece of equipment, the Answer 27-inch propane burnisher with dust control. This machine is specifically made to help this product lock down to the floor. We're going to create over 90 degrees Fahrenheit of heat using this burnisher, and that will help ensure that we lock our diamond stain guard onto the concrete floor. Okay, that's a completely polished, densified, and stain guarded Aztec floor. The combination of the Aztec equipment being able to open up the aggregate because of the weight of the equipment, being able to use the right diamonds to be able to grind and polish the floor, and then finish off with the Aztec burnisher, which you'll notice in the video that I went fairly slow because I need the time to create the heat to lock the stain guard on the floor. But this is our 400 grit floor with stain guard that's pretty hard to match. Thank you. This video is solely made to show you the Aztec equipment running and performing on concrete. As a company, we always suggest that you take a certified concrete polishing course to be able to get yourself certified by one of the different groups in North America. We'd also like to thank our partners, Pullman Erminator, for lending us a vacuum. At Aztec, we're working diligently on preparing a propane vacuum so we can truly be a cordless system where you can show up on the job site, start your equipment up, and run without having to have any other power source other than your propane engine.